let me just tell you guys, our apartment right now smells amazing.
And guess whose fault it is?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a fault because usually if it's a fault, it's a negative thing. Speaking of arguments.
Speaking of argument, what you talking about?
Well, they'll see the title of the episode is like argument.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
But it's not a fault because it's not a negative. So the reason why it smells really good in our apartment right now is because the beauty of podcasting, is the fact that we get to do it from our home. Which is an annoying thing sometimes because we have to literally change up our whole living room to set up.
There's a good side of it, and then there's a bad side of it.
Yeah. I mean, the bad side is just the fact that we don't have like a studio where like things are set up. And
if we had a studio, we wouldn't even move the mics. We wouldn't move any of the cameras, any of the lights. Everything would just be stationary. And then whenever it's time to record, we just pull up and sit down and record.
That's goals right there.
That's goals.
We have not yet.
And if you stick around for long enough, you will be there whenever we do make it up there.
Yeah. But the good thing about one of the great things about podcasting that we are doing it from our home is that currently we're working and we're doing what we love while also cooking dinner. I just put a whole chicken in the oven.
A whole chicken,
spatchcocked, if you know what that is. It is when you take the chicken back, the back of the chicken, you take the spine, you cut it out, you turn it, and then you crack its chest, and then it just goes like this. I think we talked about this before.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Because I've been talking about the spatchcock chicken for a minute, but guys, it's the game changer. That way it's like you make a whole chicken, you got 2 thighs, you got 2 drumsticks, you got 2 breasts, you got 2 wings. Perfect. You got hella leftovers.
A lot of protein right there.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like tomorrow on the plane, we're gonna take the chicken to go. I can never remember, like, can you take food on the plane from home? Yeah, you can.
No, what are you going to eat? Cold chicken on the plane?
Yeah, like make like a little chicken salad or something. Nah, it's going to be like soggy. But damn, so that means we got to eat this chicken before we leave.
Yeah, and
that's fine.
We can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. We can eat like right before we leave.
Like we're about to eat right now. Half of it going to be done right now.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, welcome back to the What's the Juice podcast. If you're new here, my name is Alia Zaitza. I'm one of your hosts for the evening, and I'm here with my lovely.
And my name is Yoni Kodo. I'm the guy with the deep voice on the podcast.
You got some fancy glasses. You want to tell us about these glasses?
I didn't. Why you got to put me on the spot like that?
I feel like we got to point it out. We can't just pretend.
Why
like
you got to put me on the spot like that? I was trying to keep it low key and just do my thing.
Yeah, just not make it a thing that you're wearing glasses
do my
that you
job.
never had before.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I spend a lot of time on the computer.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time on my phone.
Yeah.
Whether it's work or just scrolling for no reason.
Or just pleasure.
Yeah. But mostly working, especially looking at the computer, editing photos, podcasts for hours, right? And you need to protect your eyes. Yeah. Honestly, like we don't even think about that. Even you listening to this right now, you probably need some blue light glasses. And these are blue light glasses. And I kind of didn't want to take them off because
they look really good. They're such a nice accessory. I feel like because it's a clear frame.
Yeah.
It's not as like as intense as if it was like a black frame or something.
It is clear, but it's also kind of like off-white clear. It's not like white.
Well, I mean, yeah, clear is not going to be like...
No, they have some. They make some.
But there's some clear that looks blue. I don't like that one. Like I'd rather have it more like this where it's kind of a white, off-white color.
Yeah. So anyways, that's why I'm wearing glasses right now. And I never wear glasses like this.
No,
ever.
Because it's hard for you to find a pair that like really fits you,
and
right?
I feel like these like really work with me.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Thanks.
I like the look.
I appreciate it.
It's giving dad vibes.
It's giving dad vibes?
In like the best way.
In the best way. Okay.
Yeah. Like it's very attractive.
Oh, I should wear this outside a little bit.
No.
No, I'm just playing.
You better leave that shit at home. Anyways, guys, we asked you guys a while ago on Instagram, like, what do you guys want us to talk about on the pod? We just needed to hear from you guys. You know, sometimes we run out of inspiration. And some of you wanted us to talk about our arguing style.
People love some juicy shit, which I guess this is the right podcast for it because...
It's called What's the Juice?
What's up with these random voices
I don't know.
today?
I feel like it's late at night. It's 9:30 p.m. Okay, this is when we're recording because we just had things to do.
They're like, damn, so 9:30. When are you about to eat this chicken?
We're about to eat this chicken at 11. You know, shit happens. But yeah, we don't really. Okay, would you say that we argue? Like, if somebody said, like, do you guys argue? I would respond with no.
We do argue, but not like, it's not. We never. Well, how can I say this?
I wouldn't say we argue, because I feel like if you ask a couple, do you guys argue? That means like you argue on the regular.
Really?
Yeah.
So you have to argue on the regular to say
that, like, you argue.
Okay.
I would say we very rarely have like an argument, like where we both get like really whatever, like mad, or we have like a big disagreement where like you think I did something, I think you did something. That happens maybe like once, if not twice a quarter.
But I mean, honestly,
yeah,
even when that does happen,
yeah,
I don't even think it's an argument. We just talk about whatever the thing was.
But let's say it's like a moment where, oh my God, this chicken smells so good. I keep getting distracted.
Are we going to mention this chicken all episode long?
No. Sorry, I just like got
All right, so just know you might hear this again.
What's the problem?
No, it's fine.
We should put a photo of the chicken here.
Pre-cooked?
No, like after it comes out of the oven.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even take a photo of it before it went in. Anyways, what were we talking about?
You were talking about this chicken cannot distract us.
I'm sorry.
You were saying about how we don't argue.
Oh, and okay. Let's say we're in a situation where like we already know this. I'm usually the one that like might overreact.
Not might, you will overreact.
Okay, so like I will overreact if like something is really like frustrating, or like something happened that kind of impacts both of us. And then we've even talked about this on the podcast before. It's like the way that your way of reacting to things in life in general is very different than mine.
Okay, and we can break it down again for people who might have missed the episode, or just for the new people.
Okay.
So before we continue, so let's just break that. How does that look like, right? Just so everyone knows what the dynamics of this relationship is. Okay, so like
let's say, when we were in Paris, we almost missed a train. And we were in Paris. We weren't supposed to be in Paris. This was last summer, where like we told this story already, but like basically we had to take another plane to go to Paris instead of going to Belgium. And it was very annoying, and it was already frustrating. And then we were trying to figure out like what train to take so we could go from Paris to Brussels. And we like almost missed one, and then we ended up missing it and trying to figure it out. You're in a new place, etc. Right? And in moments like that, I just don't do very well. And I get very frazzled. I'm hard to communicate with, and I own up to that.
Wow.
I own up to that.
Okay.
So my energy was a big fault of, if you could call it wasn't even an argument. It was just like a bad vibe in a bad situation.
100% agree with that.
I react to those types of situations in not a great way, and something I have to work on. You, on the other hand, are way more laid back, way more, chill or whatever. And it could also be that I just tend to take the lead in figuring out a solution for the problem. And you kind of just like let me do that. But then sometimes I get frustrated because I'm like, why are you not doing anything? And then it's like, well, because you're doing it. So I feel like oftentimes that's the reason why we argue. It's like those types of situations.
Okay. I agree with that.
What did I lay it out right?
You laid it out right. I will say though, like in any situation, if it's that example or anything else, I would say that the reason why I remain so calm is because I know, for one, whatever is happening, it's not the end of the world. It's not. Like, that's my default. Like, I think about that, right? you know, it's like we're going to solve whatever problem that is. We can solve it really fast or we can solve it really slow, whatever like that. But I'm just saying everything is fine. It's okay. It's a train. Okay. Worst case scenario in my head, if we're going to miss the train, guess what? If we're in Paris and we got to wait 2 hours to take the next train, I don't have a problem with that. Hold on. I know exactly what you're about to say. If we miss the train to go to Belgium from Paris, we miss the train and they say, hey, the next one is in 2 hours. You know what I'm thinking? It's right in the city. Let's go outside. Let's grab a bite. Let's go to a coffee shop. Time will fly by like this.
And it's just that it was like after like a long ass flight.
No, I get it.
I'm not looking cute. I'm not trying to go into no place to get a croissant. Like I don't feel comfortable.
I was like, yo, you want to go out just for like 10 minutes? Just for 10 minutes, just to like grab some food. Alia was like, absolutely not.
Well, because I was trying to figure it out. Because I was trying to get to where we were supposed to go.
I guess I was trying to do that before we even figured out anything.
Yeah. You're like, damn, since we're here already, should we? And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Okay, so.
But what about a scenario where there's no solution? A scenario where, let's say, like we lost $1,000. Like on something stupid, we didn't need it. I don't know. You know, there's random money situations that sometimes like you get charged for something that like you didn't even want, or it kind of just is like money that just left your pocket.
Yeah.
And let's say that happens, right? There's no fixing it. There's no calling someone for a refund.
That shit is gone.
Nothing. And it's so frustrating because you're like, this is $1,000 that I could have had that's just not here anymore. And you know that exact feeling.
Oh, it's not a good feeling.
And I'm sorry, but in that moment, it's like, I need some time to just be angry a little bit. And then it's true. Sometimes I get like to a level at which you consider it's overreacting.
What do you think it is?
I think it's exactly what I just need to do.
But okay, so whenever you're in a situation where you feel like you need to like you need to let it out, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever think to yourself like, damn, I think I kind of overreacted here? Do you ever like in the moment? Probably not, right? Not in the moment. Because in the moment you don't care about overreacting. You're just mad about the thing.
Yeah.
But afterwards, how long does it take you to, if
like
you do?
The next day, maybe.
The next day.
I mean, it depends what it is, you know? But at the end of the day, too, it's like, it's okay to get angry. It's healthy, if anything. Like, sometimes, like, I can't just be unbothered and unaffected.
I'm not saying that it's not okay to get angry. But there is something to say about overreacting. And this is something that we can all work on. Overreacting. I feel like there's some things that, I mean, if I've overreact about something, it really has to be like something
there's been times
serious.
Where you're like, you react how I would react, where it's like you have a good amount of time where you're like maybe swearing, maybe like just being like, this is unbelievable. I can't believe this happened. And it's these types of things where there's no solution, where shit just kind of happened and you can't do anything about it.
Right.
And it's messed up. In those situations, there's been moments and like scenarios in which you also like got angry and frustrated.
I'm trying to think of an example. Do you remember what happened? I feel like it was
there was like a time, like I don't remember what the reasoning was, but I remember it happening, and I remember like, damn, this is what it's like for Yoni to like get angry. But I just let you do it because I would have done the same thing.
Oh, I know. But I'm just saying, honestly, I'm just saying that I guess it for some reason, it just takes a lot more for me to get there.
Yeah, that's true.
Most things I'm like, all right, that's fine. You know, it happened. Or like especially if I can't do anything about it, like I'll be mad. But then if it already happened, whether it's like,
just takes me a minute to like, it takes me a minute to
no,
just
and I
be
get
okay
it.
with
And
it.
everybody deals with things differently.
It
And
could
I'm
be
like,
something like I tripped and fell and I rolled my ankle and now it's injured and I can't run my half marathon. Like, I'm going to be frustrated for like a minute.
yeah.
So it's normal.
With injuries like that, playing basketball and getting injured and now you miss X amount of games, that sucks.
You know?
And you just like, this could have not happened.
Yeah. It's
That's
things that I'm like, this could have not happened. Like, there was a subscription, right? That just got renewed that I completely forgot about. That shit was like $400. We don't even need it. And I'm just like,
yeah.
And I mean, you know, that's not a big deal. And I didn't react to that.
No.
I was just like, this is crazy. Like, I'm so mad. I'm going to try to get a refund, right?
I think we're going to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see. But when it comes to arguments, I feel like most of our arguments I kind of built off of this right here. Like the way that I react versus the way that you react in certain situations.
You know, it's funny. No, you're right. Whenever we do have like one of our our higher level arguments,
yeah,
it's because of low key. It's because of how I'm now reacting to the thing that was happening.
Because I'm just like, can you like be mad with me?
Exactly. So just think about that. That is our biggest arguments.
Yeah,
it's about that. It's not even about
I would say
something you did.
I would say there's in relationships there are like arguments like this, and there are also what I would say are still kind of like part of this discussion, more intense level conversations that can be about work, that can be about finances, that can be about future, that can be about annoying adulting things like bills and insurance,
but those are not,
or like future like savings or different things like that. And if you're like, you know, maybe like one of us is like spending too much money on like certain things, maybe.
Yeah, you're like, yo, you need to chill out a little bit.
You know, it's like different things like that I feel like in a relationship specifically, you get to certain, you know, it can be about maybe something that I said in a certain moment that like didn't make you feel right, or like, or in a group setting.
Those conversations always happen when you get home. Like, okay, so babe, you know when you said that in front of everybody?
Yeah. And
why did you say that?
Most of the time, like, that's not that deep, you know? But there are conversations that are obviously, like, more serious that maybe you feel like you need to talk to your partner, like, on a more serious level. Kind of like, not business, but it's sort of about, like, your partnership, cohabiting together, sharing your life together, and getting down to like the business. If there's something that you feel like maybe your partner is not doing, or maybe your partner comes to you, says that like you feel like they're not prioritizing you, or like, I don't know, stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, so those conversations are not fun to have. Okay. And I would say those are the types of conversations that like, you know, you're discussing, it's uncomfortable, it's inevitable. Like, even if you're as open as we are at communicating and we really lay it out on the table all the time and we're not scared and we often talk about our feelings, they're still like, they don't feel good. They're not fun conversations to have.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like those are just as important to talk about in the sense of like, how do we deal with those conversations? I would say we often like, we talk a lot. So we talk to each other, we lay it out on the table, we communicate, we say what each of us thinks, what each of us feels. And I'm not gonna lie, like most of the time after those conversations, like for me, I need a little bit of time kind of like on my own to sort of get out of that funky space. You know?
Funky space. I mean, no, I get that because I know when it's happening.
Yeah.
But those conversations are just like important life conversation. Like if you live with a partner or if you're married, those are like conversation. If you're not having these conversations, something is about to go bad.
Yeah, like these are important conversations to have about, and, you know, just like your future. And what do you think? Like, okay, about kids, right? Like we have kids. When are we going to be ready? Where do you want to be by the time we do this? Where do I want to be? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, how much money do we want to save? Like all these types of things. And sometimes it's about like one person being like, oh, I need to like do more of this, or like this is something that I really need to work on, or stuff like that. You know, it's like those are not fun conversations all the time.
Yeah, but you know what they said? It's like the conversations that are the least fun are the most important ones. And that is very true. Like if there's someone out there you need to call and you haven't called them in a long time and you're scared to call them, it's probably a really good thing for you to do.
Okay, but it's like a little off topic though.
No, it's still just about things that are not fun. You can always do the fun things. Oh, I want to call my friend about the game instead of calling your grandma that you haven't called in 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months.
I just meant more also like specifically in a relationship. I just feel like don't get it twisted thinking a good relationship is like always a good time, always. And it's like it is always a good time. And those types of like harder conversations are not necessarily taking away the good time. Those are necessary. Those are important. Those are healthy. Those
you gotta have natural. Those. You gotta have those. As if you're in an adult relationship, you gotta have those. Because if you don't, then you're at some point those things will come up, and then we never talked about that. You never told me you never wanted kids. Imagine that. Imagine you with someone for 2 years, and then like you guys never talked about wanting kids. I'm sure that happened to people after they spend time, and then one day they just have that conversation, and then one of the people is just like, no, actually, I don't want kids, and that's fine too. I'm not even saying that's, but those are just things you need to cover.
Yeah. Of course.
You know, so
but I don't know. Like I would say, I'm basically trying to say that after we have one of those types of conversations, it's not an argument, but it's also not like, oh, I love you so much, life is great. You know, it's not that type of conversation. I often feel like I can't just be like back to the everything's great, life is beautiful. Like I'm still kind of in this vibe a little bit.
No, I know.
I can't, and so are you. Don't say that I'm like that, just like that.
I think you stay in it a little bit longer, because after that we kind of just do our own thing, you know, because I'm thinking about what we talked about.
Yeah, and
you
so am I.
Thinking about, you know, and that's fine. But then guess what? Like when we get to bed, we never go a full day, or like we never go to bed mad at each other, or we never have I think that happened like once before.
It was way back.
It was way back
when
you know?
It was like year 1 of dating, so it doesn't even.
It's like you go to bed and then he's just like, you're not talking to me, your back is turned, and just good night, whatever, you know.
Nah,
like I'll see you tomorrow.
Never happened except that one time, year 1. So
that sucked. Remember that you cried?
I was crying.
Yeah.
So dramatic.
Why were you crying?
Cause it felt so shitty, but it's crazy because like we hadn't even lived together yet. We haven't gone through like anything.
I think we lived together when that happened.
Oh, was it in the first apartment?
Yes. Oh. Where else did you cry?
Oh, I was thinking it was like in your apartment before we moved in together.
No.
Anyways.
Wait, did you cry there too?
No.
Yeah, it was in the first apartment, and we went to bed, and I was so mad about something, and I was just
were.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm not talking to you. And then
we were playing the silent game, which we never do.
Yeah, and then Alia was like, I'm not talking to you either, and then she went to bed, and then I heard you crying.
Oh, that's so cringe.
And I was like, oh shit, why is she crying? I felt bad too.
Damn, he didn't say anything.
Nah, I was over it. I was like, yeah, feel that shit.
That's crazy. But it's so funny how after those conversations, I feel like I so deeply feel like I can't snap out of it. Like we're good, we talked about it, but like I so want to, because I hate the feeling. I hate the feeling where it's kind of like, ugh, you know? Especially between us, because we're always like so good, so open,
but
such
to be
a good
honest,
vibe.
That is very true what you're saying, and I do feel like I do a good job snapping out of it. Yes. Depending,
you be staying in your head.
Well, depending what the conversation was.
That's
if the
true.
Conversation was more leaning towards me, I'm just like, oh man, I stay in there a little bit longer because I'm just thinking I gotta get my shit together.
Yeah, depending on what
depending
it is.
If it falls more on you or whatever, then it's like the other way around, because you just think about it, like you're just thinking about, okay, let's go, you know, let's do this. But we're always a team.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the good thing about it. I wonder how other people do it in their relationships. Like how comfortable do people feel bringing certain things up to their partner?
Even with us, I would say there are certain things that not that I like keep away from you, but like there's a time and place and there's a moment at which like you might want to bring something up if there is something to bring up.
Yeah.
You know?
Like we have certain subjects that we bring up, like that we revisit every like 3 months.
Yeah, like a nice like check-in on
and
like
it's good.
certain things. Yeah, I mean it's life. You know, you're choosing to like live together, share your life, financial things, like everything.
Yeah.
So you have to talk about these things that are not necessarily
You can't avoid
fun.
it. If you're out there avoiding important conversations with your partner, you gotta have
it's
those.
It's gonna bite you in the ass.
It will.
If you don't deal with it.
It will too. And it's very easy to find yourself in a relationship where you want to say something or you want to talk about something, and your partner also wants to talk about something, but nobody brings it up. And time goes by, you guys go out to dinner, having a great time, but there is just that elephant. It elephant
might be early
in the room.
In the relationship. I can't imagine being like 2-3 years in and there's like shit that you just never talked about.
I think it's very possible.
I mean, I can't not talk about everything.
No. I get it. You're a very like inquisitive person. Like you will ask the questions.
Yeah, and I'm like, let's talk about this shit.
Yeah, like what's going on, and this is good. It's good, but I get it that sometimes to certain people, it's not easy to have these conversations. So, but you just have to do that shit, especially if you plan to live your life with this person. Forever. Like, why wouldn't you? Why would I not tell Ali something?
Yeah,
I
do want to say that I think it is true that majority of the time, whether it's a little argument or maybe it's a discussion or a little bickery dickery. Oh, I don't know why I said that. Just
bickery.
Like we bicker or something,
Okay.
It's usually Yoni that breaks the ice.
And what do I do?
And it's always so funny because like I'm over it, but like I'm not ready to like show you I'm over it.
It's so funny, and I know when you're over it.
And I know I'm over it.
Oh yeah.
But it's the ego. The ego gets me where I just like I don't know why I can't like just let.
But it makes you feel so uncomfortable.
I don't know what to do. Like I don't know how to get back into the cute nook, into like the cute Ali and Yoni.
But if you're over it already, what's the problem?
I don't know how to like act normal again until you break the ice. Until you are like, what do you say?
I said, babe. I don't know what I said.
You say, babe, are we friends again?
Oh, yeah. Like, are we friends again? Like, can we finally be friends again?
Yeah.
And then you're like, it's the way you respond is so funny.
What do I say?
Well, I don't know exactly what you say, but you're just like, yeah, or like usually you smile.
Well, I mean, yeah, it depends.
But I know I have to do that. I'm
gonna be like, yeah, babe, we're friends.
Yeah. But it's so funny.
It's always the same. It's so funny. And I know that you know that I'm over it.
And you know that I'm going to come at some point.
Yeah.
Because
but it's bad that I like count on it. It's something that I need to figure out my way of like getting out of that.
You've never done it yet. You haven't done that yet.
Okay, saying never is really strong.
You've never broken the ice after, maybe a few times.
I've come at you with the are we friends again?
Okay, sometimes. And you learned that from me.
Yeah, I did.
And that's growth. Every time you do that, I'm like, growth. Okay. Sometimes I purposely, after an argument, quote unquote, I don't break the ice every time because I just want to see how long you will.
And it's funny because I usually know if it goes past a certain point, I know Yoni's doing that shit on purpose so that I break the ice.
See, this is how you know you're married.
We know each other way too well. It's crazy. But anyways, guys, that's the episode.
Let us know how you guys do it, okay? Do you guys struggle with some of these things in your relationship? Like, I really want to hear from you and like, what do other people do? Because these are the type of things you don't really know about other people.
Yeah, it's so funny and it's so weird to see other couples argue in front of you because I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
You ever been in a car with another couple and they're arguing and you're just in the back seat?
Oh shit, yeah.
I just want to get out.
Damn, I want to put on some headphones. I'm not here.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you on Sunday or next week.
Yes, currently we're in Seattle. So yeah, see you on Patreon.
Bye.
Bye. Comment below, please. Let us know, what do you do and how's your relationship? Okay, bye.